Hey, welcome everybody to this week's edition of Meta Market Weekly. We've got some CBDC news. We have some news of FTX being revived. Can't believe that. And we also have some pretty big crypto adoption news when it comes to Twitter. And of course, our market analysis and much more. We're excited to be back after 1 week break. We wanted to be here last week, but I was under the weather, not feeling good whatsoever. But I'm back up on the horse and excited to be back here on a Friday. So what's happening, Fernando? How are you doing?
Hey Justin, I'm doing great. That's very good to know that you're feeling better now. And yeah, like you were saying, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on right now. FTX, it
Yeah.
seems like it's gonna come back from the dead. That's it's incredible news. Not because I am a fan of Sam, but I know that a lot of people lost millions, their life savings to the FTX incompetency, because I don't think they even got hacked. I think it was just Sam, not dealing with his company as he should. So I mean, that makes me very happy. Well, I don't know for sure if they're gonna get all their money back, but if they at least get half or 1/3 of their money back, that would make me very happy. And yeah, today's going to be a pretty exciting podcast. Let's start by sharing my TradingView account, my TradingView chart. So as you might see here, I already have some layouts for today's podcast. I'm gonna go ahead and change the candles to daily.
So let me just start out by asking you, do you think crypto winter is over? Is this the beginning of a bull run, or is this another kind of pump and dump situation?
I think, well, I want to believe that it's over, and I think that it's over, and I'm gonna share my reasons now. So one thing to remember is that the market gives and takes, and it's not always gonna go up. I have a lot of friends that when they ask me how I made money in crypto and all that, they're like, wow, you're so lucky and stuff. But they don't know the other side of being an investor. There's days where you want to throw up because the market is crashing. They
Yep.
think you just buy coins and you hold them and you just happily become rich one day, to the next one. And it's not like that, because the road to the top of the mountain is not in a straight line. It's up and down, up and down. So then there's days where you feel like selling, and you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna sell because I'm gonna lose all my money. And you need to overcome that. If you don't understand that technology, if you don't understand what you're investing in, it is very hard for you to hold to your assets. So I have a lot of friends that when things get rough, they sell, and they don't buy back. And maybe they buy back when it starts going up, but they already lost money. And the reason why, I mean, if you ask me from a psychological point of view, is because they're investing in something they don't understand and they don't believe in. So
Yep.
for me, if you ask me about Meta One or Bitcoin or Phantom or other cryptocurrencies, I mean, I know what I'm investing in. I know that this is a new system. This is gonna change the world. And every time things get rough, I tell myself, you already know why you invested in this. You already know that this is going to be the future.
Yep.
Stop doubting yourself.
Yeah.
So with that in
Yeah,
mind,
sometimes those rewards don't come right away. I mean, exactly
yeah,
what you mean. I think that's a really important thing for everybody to remember, is that we're in the like infantile stage of blockchain technology. This is like investing in let's say Apple or Amazon, like in the late 90s. I mean,
yeah.
those companies were not even the pale in comparison of what they are today. And there were ups and downs, and it's the same thing with this. And that's the thing. And even from a technology standpoint, I feel like sometimes people get frustrated with the fact that the technology or the usability of the technology is not like Web 2, for example. And it's just a reminder of we're just getting started here, and we're still figuring ourselves out, and new things are being created and dreamed up every single day. And it's a really exciting journey to be on, because in 20 years time, a lot of us are going to be sitting here in our telling our grandkids or our kids how we were there for the dawn and the golden age of cryptocurrency, of blockchain technology. So I think it's awesome.
Absolutely. I was reading an article the other day, and this is super funny, regarding who are the best investors in the world.
Huh.
And the answer is super funny. We all thought that it was going to be, the professional traders, or people like Warren Buffett, but it
Yeah.
was actually dead people. Because they're not, they bought the stocks, and I mean, they're already dead, and they're not buying or selling or anything. They just left it there. So that's pretty much all you have to do. Stop worrying about buying and selling, and the price is going up and it's going down.
Yeah.
You already know that the technology is good. You
Yep.
already, if we look at the past, if we look at the dot-com bubble, life is a like a dance of cycles. It's there's constantly the same but different cycle repeating. So
Yeah.
we have the same issue with the internet. We had the bubble, it crashed, then it went up, and if you look at the graphic, it is pretty much the same as it is right now. So it's
Yep.
the same thing but different. Back in the day was internet, now it's Web3, which is pretty much more about internet. So we have all these things repeating, and as long as you have a clear picture of the bigger picture, and understand that it's happened before, and it's going to happen again, and in the future, then we might have another new kind of blockchain, or new kind of internet, or AI, or whatever. So just that you understand that when you're investing, the best thing to do is find a good company and do nothing. Yes, it's gonna be a wild ride. It's gonna go up and down. Some days, if you invest a lot of money, you might go a little bit crazy. But at the end of the day, you're investing in something good. And usually, when you invest in something that sounds pretty good and you don't understand it, you don't understand how it works, that's because it's usually that good.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. That's great advice, because then you'll be sitting on the beach laughing when you're retired
Yeah.
and drinking margaritas 20 years from now or 30 years from now, when we had the value of all of this is unimaginable. I mean, just the concept of, like you were saying, a new internet. I mean, I think the concept of a decentralized internet that's fair and truthful, and where people can express themselves as human beings and their right to free speech. I mean, I think that's a multi-trillion dollar like opportunity, and it's huge. It's probably even more worth more than that. And that's just one application that blockchain has that hasn't
Yeah.
even started to be realized yet. So yeah, it's beautiful.
And now that you mention it, there's actually right now a platform that is working on doing exactly what you said. It's
Yep.
called New Kind of Network, and it's on
Okay.
blockchain. A quick walkthrough through what it is. So it's a new kind of network. It's a new decentralized internet. I said that I might be talking about a few cryptocurrencies in the last podcast. So I was not going to talk about this cryptocurrency, but now that you mentioned it, I guess it's not a bad idea just to mention it for you guys. As always, this is not financial advice. I'm just for educational purposes. I'm letting you know about this. If you ask me, is this a good potential investment? I think it is. A new decentralized internet that cannot be censored by the government, by China or whatever. I think it's a great idea, and you can buy it on several good cryptocurrency exchanges. It's in Binance, it's in Coinbase, KuCoin, Huobi. It's in the major cryptocurrency exchanges. So it's if you ask me, this is a good project. If anyone else wants to learn more about this project, you can go to nkn.org. And it's in my opinion, this is a great technology. But back to what you were asking, what I think about the price in for the coming near future. So we need to understand what market cycles are, and if we take a look back in the past, So this is a cycle from 2013 to 2017. And it looks like a tiny smudge in the computer because, you know, prices have gone up a lot. And let me see if I can find a way to zoom it. I don't think it's gonna work here, but here I think, oh yeah, okay. So this is from 2013 to all the way to 2017. So we can see that, you know, we reach the top and then we reach the bottom, and then we stay in the bottom for a while, and then we start going up. There's no major pullback like the one we saw in 2017. So I feel like right now we're somewhere around here. But if we take a look at the cycle from 2017 to 2022, pretty much the same. You know, we reach here at the bottom, we stay here for a while. It's the same. We reach the bottom, we stay here for a while, and then we start going up. And then we have a major pullback. I mean, it's understandable to have a pullback because, like I said, the road to the top of the mountain is not in a straight line. So I mean, something like this I'm expecting to happen, but not as bad as what happened on 2020. And the reason why is this happened, this massive red candle happened because of the COVID crash. I don't know if you remember, but when the COVID crash happened, petroleum, you know, the barrels of oil, they reached below $1. I don't
Yep.
know if you saw that.
I remember. I believe there was a time it was actually zero, like
Yeah,
very
yeah,
close to zero.
exactly. So it was terrible, and we had this major crash, and I don't think we're gonna see that again, to be honest, unless there's like a, you know, the beginning of the Third World War, which I don't think so. And yeah, so definitely not a major crash like this one, but definitely we will see a correction, and I know that for sure. So here, um, once we completed, you know, the bear market and we went from the top all the way to the bottom, this indicator, which I've explained many times before, is called the RSI. And the RSI is a tool for measuring when an asset is overbought or oversold. So
RSI
right
stands for Relative Strength Index.
Correct. Yes, yes. So right now the RSI is already touched overbought. So I think it's still going to go a little bit up because it's not usually that it reaches to, you know, to the overbought level, which is 70%, that it starts to go down. It usually goes a little bit forward, you know, a little bit more up, because most people are not experts and do not know about this. But, you know, once we reach this level, people who specialize in markets and, you know, the experts, they, you know, the red light already turns on. So right now the red light has already turned on, and experts are already looking for the major pullback. I think it's going to keep going a little bit more, maybe like here. We can see on the cycle of 2017 we reached all the way to 80%, and then we were having, you know, a healthy normal pullback. You know, something like this is expected. Maybe this crash will not happen, most likely will not happen unless we have another black swan event. And maybe if we didn't have the COVID crash, we wouldn't have this, and it just stayed here for a little bit and then go all the way up. So I'm expecting, I know for sure something like that's gonna happen. Let me get my brush. Yeah, maybe the price will keep going like for here, all the way here, and then crash down a little bit, and then keep going up, you know? Where is it going to go? I mean, we're gonna have to take a close look at the market. We definitely have a resistance here. Let me change to daily candles. Hold on. Oh. So we definitely have a resistance here. the first resistance level is this one, which is
32.
32K. Yeah, it could go further up if the partnership. Well, I have not talked about this yet, but I will in a moment. So pretty much Elon Musk, when he bought Twitter, he was thinking about creating a new decentralized platform with cryptocurrencies and all that. Up till now, that was just a rumor. But like 2 days ago, Elon Musk came out and said that he partnered with eToro, which is a major cryptocurrency trading platform. And Twitter is a platform with about 500 million users. So these 500 million users are going to be exposed to cryptocurrencies. So that's about 7 to 8% of the population in the planet. So there could be a I don't know, a golden swan event or whatever you want to call it. And maybe we get past from this price range and go all the way up to here. And the reason why is because usually the market follows a pattern called the Fibonacci retracement.
Yeah.
So if we measure the highest point from last cycle, which was 20K, well, not the last one, but the last one before last one, and we measure from the lowest point, here we have the golden ratio. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit and maybe remove this one. Okay. So this is the highest point and this is the lowest point. And this one in a little bit above the middle is called the golden pocket. So if we take a look at the golden pocket, let me go back a little bit. Okay, if we take a deep look, we can see that the market, the newest higher low, it touched the golden pocket. It barely touched it, but if you're an expert trader, and if you sold here and then you shorted the market, you could have made a lot of money. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to measure the Fibonacci retracement with today's all-time high and the all-time low, and we're gonna see where we should land for the next possible retracement. So we're gonna use here from the highest high, from the lowest low, and it is here. The golden pocket is now around this area, so it's pretty much this spike. So
it's
what I'm
like 40, 46, and 48.
Yeah, it's this area. I already the price range that I have here is already measuring this area. So we should be from my analysis and from the technical perspective of using the Fibonacci retracement and all that, the numbers are indicating that we should go somewhere around here, which is between 48K and 45K. I guess we'll see in the coming weeks and months if Twitter releases this partnership with eToro soon enough, and all of these users on board Twitter with cryptocurrencies and all that. I can see this happening like in a week, that we go all the way up here, and then we start the retracement, because there's gonna be one. Absolutely. I mean, it's not gonna keep going up forever. So the two major price levels to watch right now is these two. I'm sorry, this one and this one. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in a little bit. So yeah, so this is the first price level, which is going to be between 30K and 32K. We already reached this price level. So I mean, like I said, the RSI is already at overbought. We can expect to see a retracement very soon. I don't know if it's going to be under this price level or this one, but it is very likely that it is time to start being careful with the market, because there's going to be a pullback. Will we see prices like a couple of months ago all the way to this area? I really do not think so. And the reason why is because right now the whole world and the market is in shambles. There's a revolution going on right now. People don't want CBDCs. You know, the inflation, the price of goods is very high.
Yep.
People don't want to rely on the US dollar anymore. People don't want to rely on fiat currencies that are backed by nothing other than, you know, the force of their governments. So it's looking very positive for crypto right now. And
Yeah.
also I wanted to mention the reason why I know this is going to keep going up, not just the partnership of Twitter with eToro, but if we take I'm sorry about that. Let me close my phone. There we go. Okay, so if we take a close look at what's happening on the market, if we take a look at the CPI, it's been going down. I mean, it's still not good. If we have a 5% increase on the cost of goods per month, it's still not good. But if we compare it to several months ago, which you know, the highest was, I believe, 8.5 or 9, it's been going down. You know, the cost of goods is going down. You know, the rate in which the price is increasing is going down, but it's still high. It's still very high. So this is good for the market. You know, once the cost of goods starts to go down, it is good for crypto. It is good for the stock market. It is good for everyone. But the numbers also are still very high. So if you ask me, there's really no reason to celebrate because, you know, the costs are still super high. But as an investor, you know, it is good because this means that the price of cryptocurrencies and stocks is going to go up.
Mm-hmm.
And now if we take a look at the federal funds rate, which is the increase of the interest rates, if we can see here a moment, so it's still increasing. So the ratio of the interest rates has not gone down. You know, it's still going up, but it is going up at a shorter pace. So there were months where it was increasing by 75 BPS, then it started to increase by 50 BPS, and now it's increasing by 25 BPS. I mean, again, the same thing that with the CPI. This is not good in the sense that you know, the interest rate is still going up. However, it's going up at a lower pace. So this is good for the cryptocurrency market. This is good for stocks, but at a personal level, it is not good to have interest rates this high. So if we take a look at the past, you know, we had times where, you know, the interest rates kept increasing. Then they stopped for a while, and then they started to go down. So from this look at previous events, I'm expecting that very soon, if not next month, we're going to stop increasing the rates on monetary spending. Then we're going to stay stale for like 4 or 5 months, and then it's going to start going down. So we're still at the period of recovery. How long is it going to take? I don't know. But, you know, things are starting to slow down, not getting better, that's for sure, because, you know, that the cost of goods is still high and the interest rates are still high, but it's slowing down. So very soon, you know, maybe in 2 quarters from now, we're going to see the prices of goods, you know, to start go down and the interest rates to go down. Unless there's another major black swan event, like you know, a third world war, or I don't know what's going to happen. So let's hope something like that doesn't happen, and, you know, the economy slows down, prices to go down, because things are very crazy right now. I don't know what you think, Justin.
Yeah, they are crazy for sure. I'm not really sure what's going to happen. I think we're in different new territory. There's definitely a credit crunch happening now, especially in the US market. where it's harder and harder to get credit. But I actually think that's a really good thing for cryptocurrency in general, because that means more people are going to be pushed towards decentralized finance, and permissionless finance, which is really exciting, especially for projects like us who are diving into that space, and also others, obviously. And I think we're going to see what happens with all of this. But yeah, I mean, the system is broken, very broken, and so is the economy. And I just don't think we've seen it yet. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting this year, and also 2024 is going to be very interesting to see where things go and how things are going. And I think it is also interesting to see, just relative to what's happening on the other in the other parts of the world. Saudi Arabia and Iran have made peace, and are joining BRICS. We've got lots of other nations that are starting to join BRICS, and now BRICS is starting to talk about their own currency that they're going to trade in, et cetera, et cetera. So I think the writing is on the wall for US dollar. I mean, I'm not a fan of any fiat currency anyway, but I'm not sure how much longer there's going to be relative strength in the dollar. And it's going to be really interesting to see. I think there's a lot of unknowns, and I think that we
Yeah.
just we're in really uncharted territory here. So, but the fun thing is that we're in we're in the most amazing space with an incredible solutions that are already here for these problems. And I just think it's cool. And just like this news article you're about to talk about, you can say whatever you want about Elon Musk, but I mean, thank you for just opening crypto adoption to 7% of the world. I
Yeah.
mean, that's just incredible. So
And back to what you were saying about apparently there's going to be a new currency by the BRICS alliance. Something that I would like to point out to everyone listening: if they make a new currency, they're just replacing one shitcoin with another shitcoin.
yes.
We don't need another fiat currency. It's gonna be just a different US dollar. You're
Yep.
gonna be doing the same thing. You're gonna be printing money out of thin air. It's
Yep.
gonna be exactly the same thing, but it's gonna be, instead of being from the US, it's gonna be from the other side.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
no,
But isn't there something about doing the same thing over and over again and expecting
yeah,
a different result is the definition of insanity?
absolutely. So I mean, I know that a lot of people are excited and they're like, wow, the new world order, the new economy. No, this is not the solution. This is
Not.
more of the same thing. What we need is decentralized currencies like Bitcoin or Meta One,
Yep.
that no one governs over them, that
Yep.
everyone, regardless of your race, religion, where you live, or whatever, they can use a system that you cannot print money out of thin air, and it's inclusive,
Yep.
decentralized, and immutable.
Yep.
All these other currencies, all these other fiat currencies, they're not inclusive, they're not decentralized, they print money out of thin air, and they're not immutable.
Yep.
So it's a terrible, like, if you ask me, this is more of the same. It is a terrible idea, and the only other new currencies that should be allowed are decentralized currencies and asset-backed currencies, like Meta One, that is backed by gold. Or if I think you were telling me that you saw that Texas wanted to create a asset-backed currency, no?
Yeah, that was actually something that I wanted to chat about really quick. Basically, bring up my screen here.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah, Texas wants to create a state-issued gold-backed digital currency. I'm not into this either. I think the important thing here is state. Personally, for me, I don't trust any government to be honest and clear about what they're doing. But I thought this was an interesting story because I think that we're going to see more and more of this. I think we had this conversation a few weeks ago on the show, kind of about this currency war that's going to start to happen, where we're going to be seeing more and more digital currencies pop up. And I think there's going to be a real crossroads for people to choose who they're going to put their their money behind, to be honest. And so yeah, basically the idea here is to introduce this bill was introduced, I think this was from April 7th, so last Friday. Enactment of legislation would create an option for people to transact business in sound money, setting the stage to undermine the Federal Reserve's monopoly on money and create a alternative to central bank digital currency. At least that's what it's being sort of advertised as. The legislation would require the state controller of Texas to establish a digital currency that is fully backed by gold and fully redeemable in cash or gold as well. The comptroller would also be required to create a mechanism to use this gold-backed digital currency in everyday transactions. So, I mean, I think it's cool. I think that there are people, not all government is bad. Not everybody in government is bad. There are people who are, at least in my opinion, who are honest and want to do good. But the thing is the thing that I get very concerned about is anytime a state is in charge of something, because this means that if this is designed a specific way, if they're choosing what kind of blockchain technology being used on, et cetera, there is a potential for control. There's a potential for programmability. There's a potential for tracking every single move that you make. And what I see this as is kind of just like a honeypot. It's a, hey, we're going to entice you with this idea that we're going to go back to the gold standard. We're going to go back to this redeemable in gold and cash at any time, and come and use this. But on the back end, it's like we're tracking you and doing all that stuff that they do all day long anyways. So what do you think about this, Fernando?
Well, I mean, as long as the government agrees that the currency is going to be decentralized, immutable, and it can also have like decentralized governance, where every citizen, every person that's interacting with the economy can vote and decide all in a decentralized way, in a DAO. I would not oppose to it, because the problem is not governance, because we will always need to have a government or an institution that is a strong arm and it helps to build roads and to enforce rules and all that. I get it. The problem for me is not government. For me, the problem is the system that the government use. So currently the system that governments use are centralized, are not immutable, and there's a lot of corruption. And the reason why there's a lot of corruption is because of the same thing, because it's centralized and it's not immutable. This means that if the government right now, if they want to send money or they want to make changes or there's a voting, they control the system. So they can lie about what happened. They can lie about the voting. They can lie about the printing of money. They can lie about
manipulate
everything.
it.
Yeah. So, but if we implement, like, let's keep the government, let's let everyone in charge, let them stay there. But now we're gonna use a new system that it uses distributed ledger technology, which is blockchain, which is the same technology that we use in Meta One, Bitcoin, and all that. And the money, the printing of money is transparent and immutable. Everyone from everywhere in the world can log into their computer and see what's going on. Everyone from everywhere in the world can see what's happening. They can vote and all that, and everything is immutable, again, which means that no one can alter it, because to alter the information, you need to alter the information in all the computers of the world in less than 10 minutes while it produces the next block. If we implement this technology on the government, I wouldn't be against it, because at the end of the day, we need people enforcing these jobs to make sure that the rules are enforced and all that. But we need a new system, and we need a system where we can vote, and the vote is public, and the printing of money is public, and all the delegation and all the everything is public and immutable. And the technology, just like with AI, that people still think that AI is something of the future. The future is now. AI technology, AI technology is here now. Blockchain technology is here now. The only thing that we have to do is we need to tell all the people in government that we need this technology attached to the government, to to the voting, to everything, or else I don't know. I mean, I don't know what we can do to enforce that these technologies adopted, but it needs to be adopted, because while it's still not adopted, there's still going to be room for corruption. So these
Yeah,
new
absolutely. I 100% agree with you. And from that perspective, I would be for it too. The thing is, like this, what we, at least the history that government has shown us and where their loyalty lies, this specifically says this legislation will require the state comptroller to establish a digital currency. And then my question ends up being, well, what kind of technology you're going to use, and how is this going to, and if that checks the box of this is immutable and this is using decentralized blockchain technology, then yeah, I think that's cool. But if they decide to do some kind of CBDC-esque system, then then we know what their true colors are. But I think it's interesting. I just I think I'm biased. I think that Meta One is a better option, and if you're going gold backed, and I think that obviously we have a bigger opportunity to reach more than just Texans, but I think it's cool. I think these if these two senators, Brian Hudges and Mark Drizio, have a good idea, and if they, that's the thing, is what do they tell the comptroller to do? Do they steer them in the direction of blockchain technology, or do they say, let's copy the IMF or Nigeria and use CBDC like technology? So,
hey, Justin, maybe our CEO Robert should arrange a meeting with the governor of Texas.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, we already, what they want to do, we already have it, and we've been building it for like 4 years. So I mean, why reinvent the wheel if we already have everything in place and our system already works? We just need mass adoption. So
Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
know.
Absolutely. I agree with you. That would be pretty amazing. Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you. And just to comment on what you said around like what we can do, I honestly think what we can do is we can use our money to change the minds of these people, because if we choose to, it's just like the companies that we choose to buy from, right? Like if you are, I'll give you a great example of this. I don't know if you heard about the Budweiser thing, where they
Absolutely.
basically sent they're using a social media influencer who's a trans woman as a part of their brand influence. And you can say whatever you want to say about that, but it's been a huge backlash on the main base of people in the United States who drink Bud Light, which are typically not people who are politically focused in that area. And so there's been a huge backlash, and the kind of, I would say, the question of if Budweiser is going to continue to be the company it is hanging in the balance here. And that's the power of when we choose to use our money in those ways, so what if people started adopting cryptocurrency, using Bitcoin instead of the fiat dollar, using et cetera, because here's the thing, it's just like anything else in this matrix. If you don't buy their shitty food that makes you ill, that you have to pay money into their system, and you don't use their services, et cetera, then you are not a profit center for them. And they don't want that. And then their pockets are emptying because you're not spending money, and then they are forced to actually change. And if enough of us did this, and enough of us really embrace this technology, then I think they would be forced to implement it if we got loud enough. So, I really think that's the answer.
I agree entirely with everything you just said. And it's crazy what happened with it was Bud Light, right? Or Budweiser? Bud Light?
Bud Light, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, Bud Light. So it's crazy. And like you said, we do have the power with our money. Pretty much is our boat. We both do
Yeah.
our money. And yeah, I mean, just stop. For example, if they want to implement a new CBDC, don't buy it. Say no, no, no. Don't put your money in there. I mean, unless they try to enforce it through violence, I don't know what's gonna happen. Hopefully, at the end of the day, you know, we're gonna resolve all these matters by diplomacy and, you know, by thought, by thinking into new possible solutions. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, who knows what the future will bring? All I know is that right now, definitely crazy times ahead, times of changes, and times of, you know, I don't know, a new world coming soon.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So and speaking about CBDCs, the second headline that I wanted to talk about today was the IMF has launched a CBDC. So this is from April 10th from CISN. It's a PR newswire. Today at the International Monetary Fund spring meetings, the Digital Currency Monetary Authority announced that they officially launch the official launch of an international central bank digital currency that strengthens the monetary sovereignty of participating central banks and complies with recent crypto assets policy recommendations proposed by the IMF. Universal Monetary Unit, or UMU, symbolizes whatever blah, 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 blah as a legal commodity, can transact in any legal tender settlement currency, and functions like a CBDC to enforce banking regulations and to protect the financial integrity of the international banking system. This is the beginning, everybody. We need to say no to this shit. This is, you know, they're starting on the central bank level, but that does not, this is just kind of like a test, because then they're going to start to go to the individualized level, and it's bad news. So it's the same sort of thing that we just talked about. We have to use our voices, we have to stand up, and we have to reject this shit with every fiber of our being.
Yep, absolutely.
Crazy world, crazy times.
Yeah, I know, but hopefully, you know, there's a massive light at the end of the tunnel, and they always say that it is darkest before dawn.
That
So
is very
maybe,
true.
so maybe it'll get a little darker, a little bit more, and then we're gonna have the dawn. You know, we're gonna have a new beginning, the new cycle, the new age of prosperity, maybe the golden age of humanity, the quantum age of humanity. I don't know. I want to believe, but very crazy times ahead. Not just because of CBDCs and crypto, but also especially because of AI technology. AI technology right now is super advanced. AI technology right now, you know, what we were evolving in a year, we're evolving it in 3 months, because we have technologies like ChatGPT 4 now, that you just prompt the artificial intelligence to evolve, and it keeps evolving, you know, naturally. You know, you don't even have to think how to evolve, because the artificial intelligence thinks on how to evolve by itself. So crazy times ahead. You know, this could be very good, in the sense that now AI technology can do all the hard lifting for us. You know, we're gonna have AI doctors, AIs in McDonald's, AIs in construction, but at the same time, this could be also catastrophic, because the people who create the AI, maybe one of these people could program the AI to harm people. So I don't know. A lot of people.
Yeah, have you ever seen the movie The Matrix?
Yeah, or a Terminator. And you
Yeah.
know what? Elon Musk, the other day, he started like a proposal with all the major tech guys to create a new like a gathering to regulate AI technology, because they're worried. You know, they're concerned. And I don't know if you read about this.
I didn't, but at the same time, I am not really sure that Elon Musk is the one who should be regulating AI, because, you know, I'm not sure that Elon Musk is 100% a great guy. I don't believe that big tech in general has anybody's best interests. And typically when they're doing things like wanting to regulate, it
Yeah.
typically means that they have another alternative motive and agenda. So
That's it. But let me ask you something.
yes.
Of all the people with godlike power in the world, who would you trust? Like who would you vote for, like being in charge of this godlike power? If it's not Elon Musk.
I mean, I honestly am of the opinion that I feel like these sort of really big decisions should be made by the people. To be honest, like I know that mechanism doesn't exist, but because unfortunately, countries like the United States, the system is very broken and doesn't work, but if it did work the way it was supposed to, I mean, I think that we should be deciding as a human race how AI should be regulated, because at the end of the day, it's going to affect us all. Just like you said, I mean, it's to the point where it's so dangerous that if we let it go the wrong direction, it literally could do things that are unimaginable to the human race.
I agree.
And
I agree with,
so yeah,
but
I mean, but I totally understand your perspective too. That who else would you want to have it be have it be looked over. But I don't trust anybody in big tech. I don't trust anybody in government either. So that's just me. But
yeah, but you need to trust someone because we need a leader, and I don't have godlike money and power, so it cannot be me. But there needs to be someone, and
sure,
I wouldn't vote for Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos or the U.S. government because I've seen what they've done and what they're capable of. For
yeah,
me, the only obvious, well, maybe not obvious, but the only conclusion for me would be to have Elon Musk regulate all this stuff. And also the reason why I think it's a good idea, well, this is my personal opinion, because I don't know anything about AI technology. So I don't think it would be the best idea to get people who don't know about AI technology to vote on something they don't understand. It's pretty much like the government in the US voting on laws for cryptocurrencies and blockchain. We don't even have the least idea how it works. So I personally think that like for now, until we further the regular people understand how AI technology works, I think that people like Elon Musk or Sam Altman, who is one of the creators of ChatGPT, they're the ones who should regulate this technology. Regardless, I know that right now we're at a major crossroad with AI tech, and yes, it's very interesting. Yes, it has the potential to change the economy, the way we do everything, but it also has the power to destroy the human race. And
it
that's
does.
so it's a double-edged sword. I don't know
It
what's gonna
is.
happen. Did you ever see the TV show called Silicon Valley?
I didn't, but I've seen lots of. Have you ever seen the show Person of Interest?
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen
It's
it.
really good. For anybody who doesn't know what personal interest is, it's a very scary dystopia version of what AI can do, which probably this is probably already happening and exists 100%. I mean, typically when we see technology advanced in the public space, the government has had it for at least 30 years or more. That's typically what it is. Sometimes it's a lot longer. So basically, what a person of interest is it's a AI computer that just basically has precognitive like pre-crime abilities, so it can predict when people are going to make crimes, etc. In the show, it's basically run by some benevolent people who are out there trying to save people and help people, and that's cool. But it's a cool idea, if it's in the right hands, obviously. But it's also very scary because
Yeah,
the power, and that's, I think that's really the most important thing that you've said the whole podcast today is this technology is here, folks. It is not around the corner. It is not some theory in a lab. It is here. The government is using it. Big tech is using it. Um, and it's yeah, it's crazy.
it's crazy. It's super. That what you were saying about the show kind of reminds me of a movie called Minority Report.
Oh
With
yeah, man. Yeah,
yeah,
that's a crazy and very scary show too. Very
yeah,
scary thing too. But I mean, it's like we just we have the opportunity to stand up against this stuff, folks, and we just, this is not, we don't talk about this stuff on the show to be fear mongering or anything like that. It's about realities and it's about education, so everybody knows what's happening and what's going on, so that you can use your voice, because that's the most important thing.
absolutely.
I just would think that there needs to be more balance between real life and technology. I think we need to have more real life. We need to have more real interactions with real people. And we need to stop chasing this dream of just the metaverse and everybody living in the metaverse and having an AI buddy that can do everything for you, and et cetera, because I think that these can be tools to use to enslave more. And we need to move away towards that. And that's the reason why, projects like Meta One exist, to give people a alternative to a debt slave system, and create opportunities for abundance and freedom, and people to just be humans, just be humans, and do what they want to do, and live the life they want to live. So that's what I feel, at least.
I agree. And
Yeah.
I hope that if our CEO Robert is listening to today's podcast, and if he heard about what you were saying about Texas wanting to adopt a
Yeah.
CBDC about gold, I hope he does something about it, get a meeting with the governor of Texas. I don't know, because I think that would be major for Meta One if we can get people to adopt a government the government of Texas to adopt Meta One. I mean, I don't know. I'm just doing some wishful thinking right now, but hell, that would be amazing.
Yeah, it would. That would be amazing. Absolutely. Absolutely. I 100% agree.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I know there were there's some coins that some projects that you've been into and interested in and wanted to share with the audience. I'll go ahead and stop my sharing my screen so you can reshare. And yeah, would love to hear that one that you talked about before is very cool. I'm very
yeah.
passionate about that. I think decentralized internet is like, it's the holy grail. So
Might make some of our listeners, if they invest in it, millionaires, who knows. But
yeah.
before I jump into those currencies, I just wanted to share one last news, quick final news. So FTX, I don't know if you guys remember. Well, you probably do, because it was something massive. The FTX exchange crashed a couple of months ago, and they lost billions of dollars in customer funds. So apparently, maybe not the CEO of FTX, because I'm not sure if he's in jail right now or if he's in custody. I don't know. But they're thinking, the FTX group is thinking about relaunching the FTX exchange. And apparently they were able to retrieve $7.3 billion of customers' funds. What's going to happen, I really don't know. I don't know if they're going to give their the money that they recovered back to their customers. I don't really know what's going to happen. I hope they do give the money back to their customers, because I mean it's crazy if they wouldn't. But they're saying that they're thinking about relaunching as soon as early as next quarter, which could be anytime. So if they do relaunch the exchange, I mean, I hope they do. This is good news for a lot of people that I know that they lost all their life savings there. A lot of people lost money, including me. I lost a little bit. I had like $1,000 there. Not a huge deal, but yeah, I mean that'd be amazing if they do give money back to their customers. And yeah, with that said, so finally, after several podcasts of me talking about that I wanted to share,
FTX.
yeah, several
I
crypto,
I I think that but I just to comment on this,
yeah,
I think that the returning of funds to clients is 100% necessary and required, absolutely. But that also doesn't require them to restart the exchange. And in my opinion, I would not want to see that happen unless it was a situation where they're just basically a brand new people group of people are taking over the exchange and kind of redoing it, because I feel like if there are people involved that were involved before, we may see the same sort of situation happen over again. There's also been some speculation out there, which I would not be surprised if true. Of course, this is just me speculating. This is what I've heard, is that FTX is being used to basically launder money back to politicians from money that was sent by the US government to Ukraine. So that's another thing too, where it's like, how much do we really want FTX relaunched? But do I think that giving that $8 billion back to their customers is absolutely a thing they need to do? Yes, 100%.
Yeah. And I agree with you. I actually think that the reason why they're relaunching the FTX exchange is because it is known that FTX had ties with Democrats and the SEC.
Yeah.
So, but the SEC and the Democrats were not aware of the incompetence of Sam, which was the CEO of FTX, and he was doing leverage trading with customer funds, and he lost all the money. So he made the Democrat Party and the SEC look ridiculous. And I feel like this is their way of kind of like recovering from that mistake. And this is a way for them to re-enter the cryptocurrency market and gain control on other people's funds or whatever. So I
Yep.
agree with what you just said. I mean, maybe they're gonna launder money, maybe it's about control. I don't know, but I would never trust them again with my money.
Nope, never, never. And I'm going to be very interested to see how much adoption they get if they relaunch, because I don't think it's going to be even close to as big as it was before. But I don't know. People have cognitive dissonance for some reason.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's see. Your first project you want to talk about here, Singularity Net.
Correct. So Singularity Net is a AI technology cryptocurrency. It is pretty much a marketplace for AI technologies, and they have a partnership with ADA, which is Cardano. So
Yep.
this is major. This cryptocurrency, like a couple of months ago, like 4 or 5 months ago, was trading at 5 cents. Right now, it's almost at 50 cents. So in a short term, it had a massive increase. I don't know if you remember, the other day we were having a meeting and you were asking me about adding cryptocurrencies in the exchange. And I told you it was a good idea to add a AI technology cryptocurrency. Do you remember?
Yeah.
This was it. So
Okay.
it's it's a great project, and you can learn more about them in their website, singularitynet.io. Amazing project, has to do with like I said, AI technology. If you're looking for a good place to invest money in AI technology, this is it. Also, the coin is listed in major cryptocurrency exchanges like Binance, KuCoin, Huobi, Bybit. In my opinion, a great project. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is for educational purposes. If you like, what you just heard about me talking about this AI technology coin, just do your own research. Again, you can go to their website. You can click here about, learn more about them. And yeah, it's a great project. They're actually the guys that created. I don't know if you know about this. Is Sophie the robot?
Yeah.
So you can see it here. There's a video about Sophie the robot. For those of you who are not familiar with her, it's a robot that talks like a human being. And yeah, it's a great project. And the other project that I wanted to talk about is called Stacks. This is an amazing project that also increased a lot in price in the last couple of months. It was trading about 20 cents. It reached a new higher low of almost $1.20. And this cryptocurrency, it's incredible because this cryptocurrency allows to use Bitcoin as a second layer. Think about it, kind of like what Matic does to Ethereum, but it allows it to run, smart contracts and NFTs and all that at a greater pace. So now you can do that for Bitcoin. So
Yeah, so
yeah,
let me just break that down for people who don't understand what we're talking about. So Bitcoin is the original cryptocurrency, of course. It's just a simple payment, first blockchain. It really only has one operation you can do, which is basically send a certain amount of Bitcoin from one address to another. Obviously, it's revolutionary because it introduced blockchain to the world, but there's not really a ton of other things you can do with it. So what this project has done is it's basically created what we call a layer two, which is basically, just think about it kind of as a cake. You've got the foundational, let's say chocolate, and then you've got like the vanilla on top. And they've created the vanilla that allows for things like smart contracts. So smart contracts are those immutable contracts that, for example, we use in our chain to be able to enforce the asset value of Meta One coin, etc. And also they've allowed for things like NFTs to be created, etc., on the Bitcoin network, which is really awesome, especially for Bitcoin maximists who won't touch any other project.
yeah, I agree. I mean, this is a huge step in the right direction because, like you said previously, the Bitcoin blockchain is, kind of like really old school. Doesn't run smart contracts. You cannot trade NFTs. You cannot do any programming other than using it as a store of value. And with Stacks as a layer two, now you can use your Bitcoins to create NFTs, smart contracts, DeFi, and other cool stuff. So this is pretty interesting because what it is doing is enabling for Bitcoin to use smart contracts.
Yep.
And this is going to have huge applications. Pretty much it's allowing for Bitcoin to interact the same way that Ethereum or Binance or Cardano interacts with Web3.
Yep.
So pretty amazing stuff. If you guys want to know more about Stacks, give me a second. You can go to their website, which is stacks.co, and you can buy this cryptocurrency on major exchanges like Binance, Coinbase, KuCoin, Kraken. It's really in all the major cryptocurrency exchanges. And again, always do your own research. Me sharing this information with you is only for educational purposes. If you like what you're hearing, do some more research, and then you and only you can decide if this project is for you. I personally own some of both of these cryptocurrencies. I think they're great picks for the next cycle, the next bull cycle. And yeah, that's incredible projects, and that's all I wanted to share with you guys today. Justin, I don't know if there's anything else you would like to comment or share with our viewers.
Just wanted to say it's great to be back. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. And of course, as always, hit that subscribe button that helps you get notifications about when we have our next show. Also, hit that like button that helps other people find us. And also, we want to hear from you. We want to hear your comments. We want to hear what you think about everything we just talked about. We want to hear if there's something you want us to discuss on the show. So thanks so much, everybody. And yeah, we will see you next week.
Absolutely. Until next
Bye-bye,
week.
everybody. Take care.